Hi, this is Michelle Wong, and I was on the Keith Andrew Network. Had an amazing time, and I am really super excited with what he's doing with the show, and I love the direction that he's going with it. And I definitely want to see him excel and supersede with what he's doing now. So I'm looking forward to more things to come for his show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. I am your host, Keith Andrew, and this is episode 529. Today, we have Michelle Wong on the show, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Well, thank you for having me, Keith.
No idea, real honor is mine. The whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. You to prove to them you can stem out to something. So that being said, half hour, 32 minutes of your time. With that being said, I'm going to ask you some easy questions, some hard-hitting ones along the way, and we're just going to have a good time with it. And you're making a new friend out of it, so it's a win-win.
Awesome.
Now, the first question I was going to ask you is, how was life growing up?
How was life growing up? I think overall it was good. I had a few challenges here and there, more so because of my cultural background being part Asian, part Hispanic. There has been a few challenges. For one, I grew up in Queens, where there was a lot of diversity, and then when I was about 8 years, 7 or 8 years old, I moved to Staten Island. That's where things were a little bit different because it wasn't as diverse as in Queens, and due to the fact that it wasn't diverse as Queens, uh, I often get questions of, what are you? Where do you come from? Why are you different? So there are some challenges there. As I got older, when I got into junior high school, that's where things became more challenging. It's bad enough that you're going through your own personal changes, becoming a teenager and trying to get adjusted with everything, but also, trying to fit in is it becomes challenging all on its own. And I remember one time in junior high school, there were a group of girls just giving this other girl a hard time and making fun of her and just giving her a hard time just because of the way that she looked or the way that she was, just because she was a little bit different. And because of that, I felt bad and I stepped in and I told them that they shouldn't be making fun of her. And then they stopped targeting her and they targeted me. So then that was the beginning of bullying for me. And it just excelled until high school. And you constantly have to prove yourself when you're a kid, you constantly have to prove yourself and show that, just because everybody is different doesn't necessarily mean that, that you have to treat them any other way. So yeah, I had my share of differences when I was a kid and getting adjusted to it.
No, absolutely. And remember, karma is, you know what?
It is, but it also allowed me to start developing a thick skin. As I got older, I started not caring what other people thought about me. Is what I thought about myself.
It's funny. I'm in that mindset too. It's like either you're going to accept me for who I am and what I do, or yeah, I have no problem having you out of my life and go make friends at the door. Because you can't please everyone. Because once you try to please everyone, you're always setting yourself up for failure.
That is 100% true. You have to find your own happiness first before anything else. That's the most important. And you are not going to see eye to eye. There are going to be people that are going to like you for who you are, and there are going to be people who don't like you for whatever reason. So, you just have to learn to just take everything with a grain of salt. And the people that are supporting you, those are the people that matter most.
No, absolutely. I just realized something in the show that. Actually, is it tilted? No, it's not. It's fine. Okay. I was just looking at the reflection. I was like, why is that leaning forward like that? And I just realized that, whatever. Anything can happen in life.
Oh,
Anyway, I need a better set. I just like
yeah,
this.
no,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no worries about that. That has happened to me when I sometimes record uh, as well. Sometimes either it gets knocked out and then it goes back, or sometimes the way that the lighting is with the video, you can't see too clearly. So I totally understand that.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you a couple easy ones, then we can go to the hard hitting ones. And the
Hmm.
first one was, did you ever do sports growing up? And were you a study nerd or party animal?
No, I wasn't into sports. The closest that I did sports was volleyball, but that was, during high school gym class. I had volleyball, and I would do that, but I wasn't really a sports person. And in retrospect to what kind of student I was really nerdy. I was one of those kids that was really into science and math. I had a double major of science and math classes because of the class that I was in. So it was a special class that excelled for kids that were looking to become pre med. So my class was more focused on that. So I was always studying for classes and just wanting to excel. And I've always been very curious. Like history is another another course that I was really into. So yeah, I wasn't really a party person. I was more of a nerdy kid, always exploring and wanting to know everything about life, astronomy, science, math, things like that.
Yeah. And my last question was, did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or not in, or are you not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
Mm, I'm not much of a human pyramid. Elaborate a little bit more on that.
No, I'm sorry, you were breaking up. What was that?
No, I said, can you elaborate a little bit more about the human pyramid?
I know. It pretty much is basically you're hanging out with a group of people and you form a pyramid. That's pretty much what it is.
Oh, like looking at people that are above you that can influence you. Is that what you're referring to?
A little bit, but it's more like a sport or a human exercise. But I guess metaphorically, you
Oh,
can look at it too, like that.
oh, okay. Well, if it's in the sense of looking up to other people or connecting with other people that are above me that can mentor me or inspire me, absolutely. There's always room for that. It's good for individuals to have people that can influence, encourage you, and that you can look up to, and that they can inspire you to be better, a better person.
Alright. Now, the next question I was going to ask you was I saw that you were a TV host. Who
Mm-hmm.
influenced you to become a TV host? And are you still a TV host or did you retire?
Uh, well, who inspired me was Oprah. Oprah has always been someone that has influenced me. I like who she is as an individual and how she got started and how she excelled throughout the years, and now she's built this empire just from starting out as a journalist. So that is one of the people that has influenced me. And I'm still doing the talk show. I'm still doing my podcast. I do this every weekend, Saturdays in particular. I do recording sometimes during the week if I have to go on location and interview someone.
Hey, if it's a possibility, I would love to be interviewed by you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? I definitely love the fact that you're showing people, you know, you are as a role model and as an example to other people that might not think that they have the capabilities of doing something. And it's not just anybody that has a learning disability. I think it's just people overall. Um, Being fearful of doing something that can take you out of your comfort zone or putting you out there and other people might not view it the same way. I think that that's awesome that you're not just showing just people with this learning disability, but also just people overall that that anything is possible. You can do anything that you want, anything that you set yourself up to do.
No, absolutely. For an example, do you do your interviews like this, or would it be a possibility to sit down in person and do the interview?
Well, when I do my interviews, it depends on the situation. If the person is, let's say, in New York or New Jersey and we can meet in person, then I'll do the recording at the location or at the studio. If it's something where they're out of state but they're farther away, then we do videos. We usually use like Zoom or Zencaster as a platform for us to do our recording and also do the visual component because people love to also see the interaction.
No, absolutely. We can talk more about this off the air and set it up. But the next question I was going to ask you is how many years have you been doing this?
The podcast is close to 2 years now. I started in 2016. Let's see, April of 2016. Officially, I launched it July of 2016, and now we're already this past. We're finishing off July, so it's 2 years.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
What type of people have you had on your show? Actors or
I have people from all industries. I think that when people think of a business podcast, they think of the traditional corporate business or finance. But business is a plethora of things. It's different industries. It can be people from the entertainment sector, the music sector. It can be fashion. Anything that you're representing a product or service or brand, that's a business. If you have to be in front of the public, that's a business.
yeah, I agree with you. And the other thing I saw about your what's the name of your talk show so people can follow and listen?
Sure, it's called Work Your Money Podcast, and they can definitely check it out on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher. It's all Work Your Money Podcast. If they want to check out my website, it's workyourmoney.net.
No, absolutely. Now the other question I was going to ask you, I saw that you are a TV host of Coast to Coast Marketed Market TV. What can you
Yeah.
tell us about that?
Yeah, it's a new show that I started recently. It's basically talking about the the two coasts, the East Coast and the West Coast. This is more driven for real estate investors. Usually, real estate investors, when they start investing, they invest either places that are nearby, which is their backyard close to home, or something close to the vicinity that they're in. What I do is I discuss the markets for those investors that are looking to invest in other areas and showcase the markets and compare them. So, for instance, if you're in New York or Pennsylvania or New Jersey, and you're looking at a particular area, and I'm looking at the market and what the market value is, and you're already investing there, I would compare the market on the opposite coast for those people that are looking to expand their portfolio. There's always a market that is very similar to the one that you have. It's just a matter of knowing what is out there and what you can find.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, let's see, you mentioned that you're on YouTube, but was there any other websites, like, do you have a Facebook fan page where you can upload your videos? Like, is YouTube just it? Or, I know you did mention a whole bunch of other websites, but what are the main ones that get your traffic? And
The
that goes in,
website,
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, the website for sure at www.workingmoney.net is definitely where most of my traffic is. For those that want to just pass by YouTube, I have them also on my YouTube channel. That's Working Money Podcast. I do have a fan page, and it's Work Your Money, and I do drop my videos there as well.
No, absolutely. I used to use YouTube. A big thing about that, it was pretty
Hmm.
much I was using copyrighted stuff. I wasn't taking
Hmm.
credit for it. I just wanted to make my show different, so I used to do like commercials or whatever. And so I said, "Oh, we're gonna take a commercial break," and then I play like a commercial. I wanted to be more interactive and different. And unfortunately, I got my account turned off because they thought I was a spammer.
Hmm.
But I've been avoiding YouTube, but I'm on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Stage32, Facebook. That's where you can see my shows now. They're just plainly on based on Facebook, but I share it everywhere else. So I'm trying to look for something that's better than YouTube. But you name them, I got them. Thanks to you, we're up to 529. I got actors, actresses, models, CEOs, all those great people. And I can save this for more of your show when we meet. But this is your time. And the next question I was going to ask you is when. Okay, let me phrase this. I haven't done my interviews as of late, so I'm really rusty. How do you feel about social media? Do you think social media can make you or break you? And with everything you accomplish in your life and your career, do you think that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram influences people to work with you, or is it your message?
Um, I honestly, it's a combination of the two. With social media, you have the advantage of being able to get your message across. Without it, people from other parts of the world or other parts of the state won't know that you exist or what your message is. So, in that instance, social media is a great influence to the message that I'm trying to bring across. So I guess it's a combination of the two. Um, I would say.
Now, do you think eventually, like with everything, first there was like MySpace, and that was replaced by Facebook, and there was Twitter, but now there's Instagram. But Twitter's put up a hell of a fight. I love Twitter. And I like Instagram too. But do you think eventually there's going to be a better website coming in the works?
You know what? I think that technology always allows for something newer and better to come along. You have Facebook. Facebook, I guess, is the number one platform that most people use to interconnect or have some type of engagement with the public. And you also have LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. But there's always going to be someone that is going to create a platform that might outshine the current platforms that we have. So I definitely see something coming up in the horizon. There's definitely going to be something that is going to be resourceful for most people in the public. So yes, I do see something newer, more innovative that is going to come in place in the near future.
All right, and then going back to my subject that social media can make you or break you, How do you feel about that title? Do you think it's true, or do you think it's just a title?
I think there is truth to that. It depends on how you utilize your social media platform. It also depends on you as an individual and how you utilize that social media platform. If you are being authentic of who you are and you show that out there to the individuals, that will definitely make you. But if you're using it and you're not using it properly and you're not being your authentic self when you're talking to people and sharing yourself out there to the public, that can definitely break you. Um, it's just a matter of how you interact out in the public and how those people receive you.
Now, for people who want a perfect example of this, but I'm going to use you for an example. Somebody comes up to you and says, "I would love to work with you, but is there any references?" I can speak. Is there any like a reference or references that I could speak to do like a background check on you, make sure you're legit, you're real? Do you think that's an issue, or do you think that's a good thing because people want to do their homework?
Well, if it's regarding like references, like if you say to me, "Hey, who can I speak to that can um, let me know that you are you're an authentic person, you're a legit person," you can absolutely, I can refer people to you. And you can also go onto my social media platform and connect with the people that are there that are engaging with me. I'm all about working with people. I'm all about collaborating with people. And, so I've never had an issue with that. And I'm very open. So if anybody ever wants to do that, I can very well give them a list of people that they can definitely talk to and know more about me.
No, absolutely, and I agree with you. And they can do the same thing for me. Hey, you want to see my references? Go right ahead. I'm going to help you. Go to KeithAndrewNetwork.com, and let's see, where was it? Okay, I had a brain fart. Go to KeithAndrewNetwork.com, go to recommendations. There's video recommendations from celebrities and people who I interviewed. There's 100. Last time I checked, it was 116 recommendations going back to 2015 all the way up to now. And you can look at my Facebook fan page. There's a whole bunch of recommendations there. But basically, long story short, is I want my website to do something like say, okay, it's a good website, and then click off. I want to be more things you can read. So I actually made like a recommendations like, here's a page of everyone who I interviewed. I think it's like I said, started in 15. I don't remember the month, but it's from 15 all the way up to 18. And every time I get a recommendation, boom, it's on the website. Then it's on Facebook. Then I share it on Twitter and Instagram. So those are my recommendations. I'm not a shady person. I do stupid things, but I'm a good person. But hey, yeah, why hide it? I talked to this one person who was like, I looked him up online, and it's just sort of like one or two things, and it's kind of like, all right, but I would so like say you came to me, said I would like to be on your show, but I want to do my research, and there's nothing absolutely wrong with that because you don't want to find out the guy's a dick or anything, or he's a perv or whatever. But you want to make sure he's professional. It's loyal to his work, and he wants to do the best job. I've been doing this for 5.5 years, and I want to do this until I die. Swear to God on my life, I want to do this until I die because I have the heart and passion for what I do. And so basically, this guy's like, "Hey, I'm going to represent you." I'm like, "Okay." And I said I was going to pay you. My parents are like, "Look him up, see what he does." Right? That's what you do. And I looked him up, and I didn't see it a lot. I saw his fan pages that were kind of, and I'm like, all right, that doesn't really help. But he got annoyed when I said, "Do you have any references that I can speak to, or that I can talk to?" He says, "I don't have time for that. Either you're going to work with me, right?" And I hate people like that. I hate people that they snap their freaking fingers. If they tell you to jump, they expect you to jump and not be like, why? Or why do I have to do that? It's like, I was going to work with him, but I wanted to talk to his references. He said, "I don't have time to deal with you. I'm going to pass, whatever." I said, "You know what? You're hiding something, and I'm not going to give somebody money and then find out nothing happens." Sometimes it's good taking a gamble, but you have to feel comfortable. You have to know. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example, and we're wrapping up our talk show. First question I was going to ask you, and I'm going to save it to the end actually. First question I was going to ask you is, how can people follow you? Are you on Twitter, Instagram, Stage32? Are you on any of those fun things?
Unfortunately, no. The only thing that I am that is exciting is Instagram and Twitter, and that is under Work Your Money podcast. So everything is, uniform working money because it's easy for people to find me. But those are like the most interesting stuff. I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I'm not so tech savvy, so I'm usually the last one to know all of the latest platforms. It takes me a while to know what's going on until someone comes up to me and say, "Hey, there's this platform and that's that platform." And then I become curious about it and I start looking into it to see. And if it becomes too complicated for me, I will bypass it. So I'm very honest about that. I try to use the most simple platforms that I can get to, and the ones that I can, put my content up without any problems.
My honest opinion, what I use and what I would recommend: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and LinkedIn. But mostly, I'm always on Twitter, I'm always on Facebook, I'm always on LinkedIn. Those are my three main sites: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and yes, I'm on LinkedIn too, but I have two of them. I have my main page and I have my throwaway page. My throwaway page, I would randomly add people that I find interested, introduce myself, and if we hit it off like we did, I would add them to my main page. So instead of using your main page like, oh, I like blah 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 person, and then make a long story short, I had it in count. I was adding people, removing people, adding, removing, and I had got my account frozen. So I said, screw it. I have two accounts: personal, throwaway. And that same thing with MySpace: personal, throwaway. Twitter, they don't really care. Instagram, they really don't care. Um, but that's really about it. But what I was going to ask you, and the point I was talking about, is making sure you're legit. Is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your honest reaction? What was your first reaction? And after doing the interview, how do you feel now? And do you have any regrets?
Well, the initial reaction when you first approached me was I honestly was open to doing the interview. After doing the interview, I'm glad that I did the interview. When you're in this industry where you're connecting with people and speaking to people, it's about that. It's about being able to engage with people and be freely and open with those individuals. So I never have any reservations. Oh no, I can't. Some people do that. I'm not like that. I'm more wanting to. If people approach me, I am the first one to be okay, let's definitely connect. Let's definitely talk. And it's never been an issue to me, unless I have this gut feeling that is telling me to not engage with the individual, because sometimes that tends to happen, but very rarely does it happen. But no, when you approached me, I was like, let's definitely connect. More so because we have a common ground, which is we both have shows. So that was something that I was very open to.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up, I do have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
But it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest on the show, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Okay.
Vanessa Lina. Adrian Lalo.
This
is Cynthia Bastinet.
I'm Sonia Fisher. This is Shane Smith.
My name is Alexandra Bowie.
My name is Amelia Clover.
Hi, I'm Amy Linden.
Hi, I'm Anita Nicole Brown.
Renee Green.
Hi, my name is Asata Caldwell.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brooke.
Hi, I'm Bryn Berg.
Hi, I'm Casey Dunn.
Hi, it's Cassandra Kavinsky.
Hi, I'm Christina Briza.
I'm Cindy Hogan.
I'm Courtney Sinello.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
My name is Deborah Jane East.
Hi, my name is Dinah Marasea.
Everyone, I'm Victoria London.
Hi, I'm Heather Krona.
Hi, I'm Heather Callahan Stevens.
Hi, I'm J. Nicole Ralph.
My name is Jamie Petrone.
My name is Julie.
My name is Julia Brankovich.
Kathleen Wills.
Kimberly Amato.
Hi, my name is Laura Putnam.
Hi, I'm Laura Chapanis.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Damas.
This is Michelle Mupo, a.k.a. Fuchsia.
I'm Rachel Lavera.
Hi, my name is Sarah Joy Mount.
Hi, I'm Susan Brender.
Hi, everyone. This is Venus Leone.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Dana.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Herrera, and I was just on the Keith Andrew Network. It was tons of fun. We used up all our time and then some. I really recommend this show, and try to be a guest on Keith's show. It was super fun.